So I've heard players say, including myself, I feared Mike. I've heard players in your generation say they feared Kobe. I've never really heard any players say they fear LeBron.
And then like the generation, they talk so much shit about the game today. And it make you go back and watch the game back then. And it makes you not even want to appreciate it no more like I did when I was a kid. Like it was like.
Nobody feared him. Those 3 words from Shaquille O'Neal hit harder than any dunk or stat line LeBron James has ever posted. They slice straight through the trophies, the rings, and the records. And when you realize why a 4-time NBA champion who actually played with both LeBron and Kobe keeps repeating this over and over, the whole GOAT debate suddenly flips on its head. This isn't some salty legend taking cheap shots from the sidelines. This is Shaq, a Hall of Famer, a man who lived it, who saw it up close, telling the truth the mainstream media refuses to touch. And what he said, it digs deep. The conversation that lit the fire happened on Shaq's own podcast back in March 2024.
So I've heard players say, including myself, I feared Mike. I've heard players in your generation say they feared Kobe. I've never really heard any players say they fear LeBron.
With his former teammate Mario Chalmers sitting right there next to him. And what came out of Shaq's mouth that day? It made LeBron's entire fan base lose their minds. Shaq broke it down plain and simple. Players used to fear Michael Jordan. They feared Kobe Bryant. But LeBron, not one player, not a single one, ever admitted to fearing him on the court. That's a wild claim, especially coming from someone who shared locker rooms with these guys. And when LeBron caught wind of it, he did what LeBron always does. He hit Instagram. He dropped that post flexing his insane streak of consecutive double-digit games, bragging how it lasted longer than Shaq's whole career.
I didn't think players really feared LeBron like they did Jordan.
I never heard anybody say it.
And it's not that you shouldn't fear Bron. I just think at the end of the day, Bron has been through so much that he wanted to be liked. So it was kind of like,
he is a nice guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
Very
things
nice.
now where like people like me, people respect me.
Sure, that stat is legendary. Nobody can deny it. But that wasn't the point. Not even close. Shaq wasn't talking about points or longevity or analytics you can throw into a spreadsheet. He was talking about presence. That deep, stomach-twisting fear opponents felt when they knew Jordan was coming. That anxiety before facing Kobe, the sleepless nights, the mental chess game that made the toughest players crumble before the ball was even tipped. That's the stuff you can't measure, the part of greatness that lives in people's heads, not on the box score. And Chalmers, who lived those Miami Heat years right beside LeBron, didn't hold back either. He confirmed everything. He said LeBron took so much criticism and hate from fans and the media that eventually he cared more about being liked than being feared. He wanted to be the good guy, the hero, the people's champ. But Jordan and Kobe, they were built different. They didn't care if you loved them or hated them, only that you feared them. Jordan wanted opponents staring at the ceiling the night before a game, praying not to get embarrassed. Kobe, he wanted to break you before the opening tip, make you question yourself before you even touched the ball. That's how killers think. LeBron, though, wanted admiration, respect, approval, and in the world of basketball greatness, that single difference means everything.
I think the greatest player is Michael Jordan. LeBron is about to do something that hasn't been done in a long time, but for me, it's always Dr. J and Michael Jordan, matching those guys.
But here's what most people don't even realize. Shaq didn't just start saying this in 2024. He's been sounding the alarm for over a decade. Way back in 2011, in his memoir Shaq Uncut, he already hinted at this exact same truth about playing with LeBron in Cleveland. And the words he wrote back then? Absolutely damning. The entire Cleveland Cavaliers organization was walking on eggshells around LeBron James. Straight facts. Shaq painted a picture of fear, not leadership. He said Coach Mike Brown was a good guy, a decent coach, but he was terrified to confront LeBron about anything. In Cleveland, the front office was so scared of losing him that they let him live by his own set of rules while everyone else had to toe the line. And that kind of setup destroys championship culture. One story from Shaq Uncut still has fans shaking their heads. During a team film session, the coaches pulled up a play where LeBron didn't hustle back on defense after a missed shot. And Mike Brown, he said nothing, not one word. The room went quiet. Everyone saw it, and Brown just skipped right over it like it didn't happen. But the very next clip, Mo Williams did the same thing, and suddenly Brown turned into a drill sergeant, barking at him about effort and accountability. That's when Delonte West spoke up. Bold move. He called out the double standard right there in the room, saying everyone needed to be held accountable, not just some players. But it didn't matter. LeBron was untouchable. That unequal treatment created a power imbalance no great team could survive. Now picture this. Can you imagine Phil Jackson letting Michael Jordan slack off on defense and pretending it didn't happen? Or a coach letting Kobe Bryant walk back slowly while everyone else got chewed out? Never. Jackson would have benched either of them on the spot. That's how championship culture gets built, through respect earned, not fear protected. But LeBron's environment was different. According to Shaq, those double standards followed him his entire career. And when it came to big moments, Shaq said the same weakness kept showing up. He still can't shake what he saw in the 2011 finals. Miami versus Dallas, the Heat were swinging the ball beautifully, and it found LeBron wide open for a shot he should have nailed in his sleep. But instead of taking it, he passed the ball to Mario Chalmers. Shaq said he just sat there thinking, what is he doing? Taking that shot is what being the man means, wanting that moment, owning that pressure. That's what separates legends from everyone else. But LeBron passed the weight to someone else instead of embracing it. That's why when Shaq went on the Dan Patrick Show in 2015 and Patrick asked him to pick between Kobe and LeBron in their primes, Shaq didn't even blink. Kobe, he said instantly, had the killer instinct. No hesitation, no sugarcoating. That was his answer, period.
What about Kobe and LeBron in their prime?
Well, I'll play with both of them, and Kobe has that killer instinct, and I'll probably have to go with Kobe.
Later that same year, at an ESPN event in Hong Kong, Shaq explained it even further. He said young LeBron reminded him of Magic Johnson more than Michael Jordan. Sure, LeBron had Jordan-level athleticism, but his mindset leaned toward Magic's, a pass-first, team-oriented approach instead of that cold-blooded scorer's mentality. And while Magic is one of the 5 greatest players ever, nobody puts him in the GOAT debate next to Jordan. And that's the difference. Shaq was making it clear where he thinks LeBron ranks all time. Amazing talent, but not the ultimate killer. This killer instinct people talk about isn't just some media buzzword. It's the invisible fire that separates the obsessed from the ordinary. It's why Jordan demanded the ball every single time the game was on the line, no matter if he'd missed 10 shots before that. It's why Kobe once dropped 81 points on a random Tuesday night just because losing wasn't an option.
But our game is supposed to be more structured. Well, did this game we're watching now, I don't know what we're watching now.
They say, yeah, I said the 90s and 80s was way harder than this. You guys, this is like kind of soft.
That drive doesn't care about fatigue, pressure, or reputation. It only cares about winning. And Shaq believes that's where LeBron falls short. He's had moments where the spotlight was too bright, and people who were actually there say it too. He's shrunk in those defining moments more than once. Then came 2021, when LeBron publicly complained about the NBA's packed schedule after a wave of injuries. Shaq wasn't having it. He went off, reminding everyone that the greats before him, Jordan, Kareem, Bird, Magic, Jerry West, they all played 82 games without complaint. I played every season, Shaq said proudly. These guys make 30, 40, 50 million a year and still want to rest. That's the difference.
If you're making $30 million, 80 games is good enough.
All right, 2 more things real quick. Go ahead.
So you want me to pay you $30 million to play 30 games? Hell no.
Right.
No, 80 games is fine, because I did it, Jerry West did it, Kareem did it, Magic did it, Bird did it, Bernard King, like all the great legends before us did it.
Couldn't believe that an NBA player could make $1 million. And now these guys are so lucky and blessed, and they can't play basketball 3 or 4 days a week. And I know they hide behind all the analytical bullshit from their agents and people like that. What they're really trying to do is extend their career. The way the money's been and going, depending on who you are, you're going to be able to make another $50, $70, $100 million and probably more going forward if you can extend your career 2 or 3 years.
The old school legends showed up every night. No excuses, no shortcuts. For Shaq, that's the line between being great and being the greatest. And he's made it clear. LeBron might have the stats, but he never had that fear factor that separates icons from immortals. All that analytical talk from agents, straight up smoke and mirrors. It's just a fancy cover for what players really want, to stretch their careers long enough to grab another monster payday. The money in today's NBA is insane. Playing 2 or 3 extra seasons can mean stacking another $500 million. That's not about legacy, that's about cash flow. But when you mix that into the GOAT conversation, things get real messy. Sure, LeBron's longevity stats are jaw-dropping, He's the all-time scoring leader and still balling after 2 decades. But let's keep it real. Those numbers came from an era where defense got softer, hand-checking got banned, and hard fouls now get you ejected or suspended. Back in the day, Jordan was getting hammered every night by the bad boy Pistons. He earned every bucket through bruises. Kobe played through that same physical era too, when defenders could actually body you up. Today, LeBron gets free throws off contact that wouldn't even get a whistle 20 years ago. So yeah, the box scores might look similar, but those are 2 totally different worlds. One was blood, sweat, and elbows. The other's all about spacing and soft calls. Whenever people accuse Shaq of hating on the new generation, he laughs it off. "How can I hate when I lived that greatness?" he says. He's not being bitter, he's protecting the standard. Shaq refuses to water it down just because today's players have slicker PR teams, bigger platforms, and social media armies hyping them up. He's saying greatness still has rules, and fear still matters.
Like right now, you get a flagrant foul, you get fined, suspended. Like guys ain't even fouling hard no more. Back before I played, it was crazy, but when I played, it was crazy. But even before, like the 80s going to 90s, it was probably more physical then. But people get mad. It's just a product of what I see. I seen what greatness is. Been there, played with it. I don't see that all the time over here. It never happens. You can call it hate if you want. But even with the word hate, like these kids that like to throw that word around. If you ain't great and I'm great, how the fuck can I hate on you? That don't make no.
And here's the wild part. Shaq's not the only one saying this. Charles Barkley came out swinging too, saying the whole atmosphere around LeBron has gotten ridiculous. According to him, if you don't call LeBron the GOAT, LeBron's fans treat it like blasphemy, like you've broken some sacred law. Having a different opinion isn't allowed anymore, Barkley said, shaking his head. Then Scottie Pippen, who literally shared the floor with Michael Jordan, didn't mince words either.
When I look at LeBron, he's not what Michael was as a player. He's not even what Kobe Bryant was as a player. When you talk about trying to compare Michael's instinct, his ability to take over games, his ability to want to have that last shot.
And demoralize you.
Yes.
And scare the living hell out of you.
LeBron doesn't have that gene.
Don't get it twisted. I love LeBron, but no.
He said LeBron isn't what Michael was as a player, and not even what Kobe was. According to Pippen, LeBron simply doesn't have that take over the game gene. Jordan had that ability to demand the ball, crush his opponent's spirit, and scare the life out of anyone guarding him. Kobe had that same fire, but LeBron, Pippen flat out said, he doesn't have that gene. Kevin Garnett told a story that made this even clearer. When his Celtics were facing LeBron's Cavaliers, they never feared him, not once. KG said the whole team believed LeBron couldn't beat all 5 of them alone, and the way he played confirmed it.
Nothing?
Man, listen, let me say something to you. The C's, we didn't give a fuck about LeBron. We didn't fear LeBron, and we didn't think that he can beat all 5 of us. And that's how it felt. He was trying to consolidate because he didn't want the pressure on him.
He kept trying to pass off pressure instead of carrying it himself. Garnett's message was cold but honest. Real killers want that weight on their shoulders. Even Magic Johnson, one of LeBron's biggest supporters, kept it real. He said he loves LeBron, respects him deeply, but made sure everyone understood Jordan is the GOAT. When that many legends, Magic, Shaq, Barkley, Pippen, Garnett, all line up on the same side of history, it's not bitterness, it's truth from people who've been there. Nobody's saying LeBron isn't amazing. Of course he is. He's a guaranteed Hall of Famer, one of the best to ever play the game. But what these legends are pointing out is that LeBron's greatness is different. He's not Michael, he's not Kobe, he's LeBron. Brilliant, consistent, dominant, but not feared in that same spine-chilling way. When Shaq went on Logan Paul's podcast in 2022, he finally laid his all-time list out in public. Jordan at number 1, Kobe right behind him. That's coming from a 15-time All-Star, a 4-time champ, and 3-time Finals MVP who dominated in a way today's league just doesn't see anymore. And since Shaq actually played with both LeBron and Kobe, his comparison holds weight nobody else can match. Still, Shaq's fair. He's not blind to LeBron's greatness. In fact, he's defended him plenty of times too. He once asked, how can anyone score 38,000 points without having that drive inside? He's even called LeBron the greatest young leader he'd ever seen. So no, Shaq's not tearing him down. He's just drawing a line. Being an all-time great is one thing, being the greatest of all time. That's something else completely. Shaq says LeBron's a top 3 player in history, no doubt. His numbers, his longevity, his consistency are unreal. But that fear factor, that aura that made opponents dread seeing Jordan's name on the schedule, that's what LeBron's missing. And to Shaq, that's what separates greatness from legendary dominance. That killer instinct that fueled Kobe to drop 81 points on a random night, LeBron never had that fire burning the same way. The era he dominated was softer, no hand checks, no real physical punishment, no earn-it-the-hard-way battles. And instead of taking on the league head-on, he helped create the super team era. Instead of crushing the competition, he teamed up with it. Those crazy stats. They came from a league that made scoring easier than ever. When you line up the mentality, the clutch moments, and that psychological edge, LeBron falls short every single time compared to Jordan and Kobe. It's not hate. It's just honesty from people who know what real greatness feels like up close. Legends like Shaq, Barkley, and Magic aren't bitter. They're just calling it how they see it. What Shaq's been exposing for more than a decade isn't that LeBron's overrated. It's that something deeper's missing. Despite all the titles, records, and carefully polished narratives, LeBron's greatness was built on admiration, not intimidation. He wanted to be respected, liked, celebrated, while Jordan and Kobe wanted to own your soul on the court. They didn't want love. They wanted opponents broken before tip-off. And that's the difference that numbers can't explain. Being feared, being the one players dreaded facing, that's what made Jordan and Kobe untouchable. LeBron's story shines bright, but it never carried that same chill factor that made opponents lose sleep the night before. All the real ones who played at that level keep saying the same thing. Maybe it's time people actually listen. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below. See you in the next one.